everyone. Welcome to Real Siblings. It Ain't Easy, a real estate and lifestyle podcast that just ain't typical. And as this is a special series of 4 episodes, maybe 5, we are mixing up our blender again, and we are putting in a little bit of holiday, a little bit of Christmas tradition, a little bit of going ons, and we are using the Advent wreath and Advent candles that we grew up with in our church in Ohio as part of a regular tradition. And I know Donna still does it at her church. So she's going to take it from here.
This time of year, everybody, it seems that worldwide, doesn't matter if you're religious or not, but as you get into the fall of the year, the end of the year, and in the Christian calendar, celebrating Christmas, and for our Jewish friends, Hanukkah, everybody seems to care about hope, care about peace, care about joy, and care about love, maybe more than they do the rest of the year. We thought we might talk a little bit about that from the perspective of not just celebrating it on the Christian calendar, but how does it affect our jobs as realtors? How does it affect my brother's job this time of year as Santa Claus? And what might this bring into your lives in 2026? This morning, Eric, I talked at BNI about how we as realtors, if we're representing buyers or sellers, okay, buyers are hoping to find the house they want, right? Sellers are hoping to get the price they want. Sometimes the seller is also a buyer. And so they have hope going in 2 directions, right?
Right.
We as realtors are hoping that it comes together for everybody, that there's not a million repairs and tons of delays and all those things. Have you experienced anything specific recently that you think falls into hope related to real estate?
Yes. And I would say, as I was thinking about this and we started the concept, I'm going, this to me, it's hope is the first candle that's lit on the Advent calendar. And it is the expectation and hope of the Messiah Savior to come. In our case, that candle, in my opinion, is the one that burns the longest.
Oh, that's true.
Because the hope portion of our Advent candle, if we're going to relate it, can go for weeks to months to even beyond that. I have clients right now listing a house. First time I met with them was July of 2024. So we are approaching 2026, still expected and hopeful on their house from a sales standpoint.
Wow.
But it took us close to 13 months to get it on market because of work and things we needed to do and the fact that they were looking for a house. So that hope candle with all of those things, emotions stretched into it, can extend. Then you've got the other side of the coin where it's like, we're ready to go. We got our financing in place. Let's move. And then, as you indicated, that hope thing becomes different. Going, we hope it's solid. We hope we don't find any issues.
We hope if we're a buyer, we don't lose a job. And I think personally, 2025 has been a hard year for a lot of people. There are people who are living on the fringes of society that have been continued to hope for SNAP benefits. There have been people who were hoping they got paychecks during a government shutdown. There have been people like myself who have dealt with an adult child with a challenge, who have been hopeful for some relief for him, and for me. So I think it's easy to think about how we need and want hope in our world. Tell our listeners how you interpret that when you're out participating in your second job, bringing hope to young children as Mr. Claus.
Yeah, my second job. That's an interesting one.
Third job. Oh no,
it certainly is the focus at this time of year. Hopeful, expected, from my standpoint, I don't like to be a prop.
You don't what?
And there's a prop. And there's a certain portion of being a professional Santa Claus where you are a prop. You're a living prop. You're a moving prop. But you are a prop to focus a photograph. I like to do things where I can interact with the kids more. So I get some of that anticipation, where I can get some of that motivation. This year, one of the things, because of having now played Santa Claus at our church, the entire year, the kids come up to me asking questions. Someone's like, "Hey, this is what's on my list." And it was funny, but this was as early as like April of last year. And it's like, "You're too early." And he looked at me and he's like, "What do you mean I'm too early?" I, I said, "What grade are you in?" And he said, "Second." And I said, "So by Christmas next year, you're going to be in third grade. You're going to have new teacher, new classmates, new things that you're interested in. If you put together a list right now, hoping that that's what you're going to get, you're going to be disappointed because you're not going to be interested in those things at all." I think you're right. I'll wait.
That's funny. I just watched one of the seasonal shows where a woman is playing Santa Claus, and she's thinking about her own life, so she's lecturing the children about, no, you don't really want that, and they're all looking at her. That's not what Santa's supposed to say.
Someone asked me for the Nerf gun the other day, and I couldn't help it with going, "You'll shoot your eye out."
Yeah.
And
I
then
wonder if
we
the
laughed
parents
with the
know
parents, and he's going, "I'm not pointing at myself." I was like, "How am I
That's
going to do
funny.
that, Santa?" And it's like, "I'm sorry, I couldn't resist."
Yeah. And I think that there is combined with, the simple things for the children and bringing them hope. I think that there's also a moment, and as we talk about the other words, this will come into it, where the parents are listening and watching, and maybe it's a divorce this year and the kids are in separate homes and the parents are hoping that things go well regardless. I mean, we have no idea really of the background of things and how much hope is needed. I think all of these words I call them ethereal words. They're not nouns. They're not a laptop. They're not a cup.
They're
they're
ethereal.
they're emotions.
Wow.
I know. They're emotions and feelings that we try to put into other words. And sometimes it's hard. And I think, as you mentioned, so for us, this is the coming of the Christ child. And for others, that might not have anything to do with, the people who are listening. But I still think that daily, I hope that I make somebody smile. I hope that my car doesn't break down again. I hope I get home with, and don't get mad at all the people on the road who are, this just happened, driving way too fast, passing me on the right, trying to get around me.
That's because we've turned into 10 and 2s.
Yeah. That's true. We are. That's the way we drive now. Yeah. So I think that hope is in our life all the time without us really even verbalizing it or
It
saying,
is. There's that expectation. And it's like, I just want to get there in one piece. We always say, "I hope I get there in one piece."
yeah,
More often, you will say that to somebody who's going on a trip. It's like, "I hope you have a good time."
right.
And it's done casually. Do you really feel invested? It's like, "Oh my gosh, they're taking this cruise that's going to be gone for 2 weeks. I hope you come back in one piece. I hope you don't put on, I hope you don't put on a bunch of weight. I hope," because we know cruises are known for their food.
Yeah.
Eh,
I
like so many words,
it's funny because
love is not one of them we're going to be using. But think of how I love this kind of pizza.
yes, love is one of the
I
words.
love this. I love, you're right.
Don't talk about love right now. It's
But
hope.
it's I think hope falls into some of that, to your ethereal.
Yeah. Well, we had decided we would make these a little shorter.
Because we're coming back for more.
We're coming back and we're going to do another word and talk about it. And then Eric's going to get them all done, I hope,
Lickety
in a
split.
couple, in a couple
And
of days.
yeah, that editing
Yeah.
will not, maybe tomorrow some, but
Yeah.
I got a
Yeah.
busy morning, busy evening, crazy full day on Saturday.
And I think that as we take this out, I don't think we have to do our long closing. I just want to say that I'm Donna. I'm in Tucson, Arizona. I'm with Keller Williams Southern Arizona. And you are?
Eric Seemann, and I am with Keller Williams Heritage in San Antonio, Texas. We're both real estate agents.
And we are also
real
siblings.